Hello and welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Sharon B and I'm going to go straight into the topic of the video, which is how God delivered me from a spirit spouse. And God delivered me from a spirit spouse through 5 basic steps. And the first step was illumination. So in this first step, God used somebody that came into my life as a friend to just shed his light prophetically. I was going through the spirit spouse encounters and I had some problems in my life, such as difficulty having kids and a lot of marital problems. And this person came into my life and she prophetically just looked at me without me saying anything to her. And she asked me, "Are you experiencing spirit spouses in the nighttime?" And that was God really shining his light, illuminating what was going on secretly within my soul. And the second step was God helping me to acknowledge that this was a problem, accepting that this was something wrong. Like I needed to actually do something about it because it was not normal. It was not something that God wanted for me. That was the second step. And all these steps that I'm going to list today came to me in specific stages, and they were not very easy for me to accept because there was a lot of shame surrounding what I was going through. And the third step was God giving me the grace to ask for help. So when this person first came to me and she said, "Is this what you're going through?" I kind of was like brushed her off and everything. It took a couple of months for me to really sit with the Lord in the secret place. And then I went back to her and I said to her, "You were right. Everything you explained is what is going on with me. Can you help me?" And she was somebody who had gone through it and had overcome it to where she was now having her children. But now I needed somebody like her who had overcome it to help me get to the place where God wanted me to be. So that was the third step, was me reaching out and asking for help. And that step actually lasted quite a long time, because it was not only her. After her, the Lord had me go to a pastor and ask for deliverance prayer. And after the pastor, one of the final most powerful help that came to me was me telling my husband that I was going through this, because in the past I had kept it a secret from my husband because we were not spiritually one. He didn't really understand what a spirit spouse was, and we were not spiritually connected. So the last and final uh, step within step 3, asking for help, was me going to my husband in faith, because the Lord had asked me to go to him and tell him that I was experiencing this and explain to him what it was, and just tell him, like, "This is what's going on with me. Can you pray for me?" That didn't go well at first, but God honored my obedience. And that's something I'll talk about in another video. He honored my obedience. Finally, what happened was my husband became one of the biggest supports for me in this battle, in the deliverance process, as he began to pray and cover me. But it took a very long time for us to get to this point, from the time when God asked me to go and tell him that I was experiencing this. The fourth step was the most important step for me. It was the turning point in my deliverance from the spirit spouse. And this was when God revealed to me Luke 11 from verses 24 to 26. It's when a demon is casted out of a man, it goes to the desert, searching there for rest, but finding none, it returns to the person it left and finds that its former house is all swept and clean. Then it goes and gets even other demons more evil than itself, and they all enter the man. So this step was important for me because in step 3, I got prayed for by a pastor, and I manifested and the demon left. And I continued to experience these issues. I didn't get much breakthrough. I did get some breakthrough, but I still continue to experience this issue. And I got prayed for by another pastor, And I still continue to experience these spirit spouse visits, accompanied by the effects of having a spirit spouse. I wasn't seeing much change. There was some change, but there was not significant. I wasn't walking in significant victory. And so this stage was very important because this was when God started to really work with me, with the key of just understanding, the key of warfare, just really understanding what I was dealing with. He told me to start researching about what exactly is a spirit husband. I started having to be deliberate about putting in the work to study not only my Bible, but to study other material out there about spirit spouses to discover what exactly I was dealing with. And I have a video that I have done explaining what exactly is a spirit spouse and is a spirit spouse biblical. So in this stage 4 was when, or step 4 was when God was really showing me what I was dealing with and also showing me where I could find it in the Bible. That concept of a spirit spouse is in the Bible. And he was just bringing everything home to me so that I became knowledgeable about what I was dealing with. Most of the time, a spirit spouse is operating in our lives because of ancestral sin, ancestral idol worship. In the 4th stage was when God really began to show me my open doors, what the ancestral sin that was practiced in the past looked like to me today, practically in my day-to-day life, how I was still committing that ancestral sin. God really began to open my eyes to myself and to give me back my power. I had been caught in a spiral of just going from one pastor to another, one church to another, looking for this man of God or this woman of God who could just pray over me and I would be delivered. And there were many times when I would fall to the floor, I would manifest, but I would come home and still continue to experience this episodes and just have the effects of having a spirit spouse still so prominent in my life. That's why I said that the 4th step was really based on Luke 11:24-26, where God was really showing me that, this spirit, for it to stay away, you need to be transformed within your mind. You need to identify what are its open doors. Why does it keep coming back? Why is it able to come back and even come back worse? And so the 5th step is the step that brought me the most victory, and it is still connected to the 4th step. When I got to this place in my deliverance journey, I was so happy, I was so excited, and this was when God began to just give me these songs. He would just sing these songs over me, and he started to reveal the 7 keys from his word through the 7 main songs that he gave me. So he gave me 7 songs, and then from those songs, he began to build concepts from his word around these songs, which began to give me an opportunity to really go search, what is love, what is joy. And this search led me to an in-depth study of the concepts surrounding these 7 songs that he had given me. And the 7 songs are love, joy, worship, grace, warfare, faith, and freedom. And these songs created an atmosphere of God's presence within and around me, and it gave me victory over the spirit spouse. So a lot of times, most of us who struggle with a spirit spouse find that we are not getting breakthrough. And a lot of times this is because we have not yet grasped the fact that a spirit spouse is a demonic spirit that is going to keep trying to come back if it doesn't find you full of the fruit of the spirit, if it doesn't find you transformed and renewed. And so this is where my 7 songs from heaven and 7 concepts from heaven come in, where God really began to transform my mind, renew my mind, and show me, reveal to me these concepts from His word that brought me deliverance. And if you are struggling with a spirit spouse, I just want to encourage you. It is a transformative journey. Deliverance from a spirit spouse cannot happen just like that because of the nature of what a spirit spouse is. Please go and watch my video on what is a spirit spouse so you can understand what you're dealing with. You need to spend time in the secret place. You need to spend time in the Word of God to be renewed, to be transformed, so that you can have keys to lock up those doors, the doors within your soul that keep allowing it to come in. And eventually, as you take time to renew your mind with the Word of God, you will find that you are free from the spirit spouse. I'm going to also address in this video one of the questions that a lot of people ask me, and they ask me, how long did it take for you to be delivered? I don't like to give an answer to that question because it took very long for me to be delivered, and I don't want to discourage you because I know everybody is different. What I'm going to say to you is that God delivers us in layers, and look at your deliverance process in increments. Don't wait for a day when all of a sudden it's going to end. Make a list of the things that you are experiencing in your life and that you know are as a result of the spirit spouse, and begin to watch what happens to them. Begin to see the changes in your life, in your character and your habits, and know that God is bringing you to deliverance. One of the things I want to address here to give you hope if you struggle with spirit spouse episodes is what happened in my life. What happened in my life was that the spirit spouse episodes did not stop all at once. It was, for example, I would have them. I remember when I used to have them every day, sometimes twice a day. If I would just take a nap, I would have them. And what started to happen was I started to go maybe one day, not have any, 2 days, not have any, 3 days, not have any, 4 days, 5 days, 1 week, 1 month. And this happened over a period of years. I'm not going to give you a definite time because I don't want you to wrap your mind around a definite time, because a definite time is going to cause you not to focus on what exactly God is trying to do in you. I believe that the presence of a spirit spouse in our lives is calling us to an intimate relationship with Christ, a renewing and a transforming of our mind, so that we can become effective disciples to bring other people to God's kingdom. And that is what I want you to focus on. As you draw closer and closer to Christ, and you are in this place where you are striving to have an intimate relationship with Him, you will find that this spirit spouse is going to eventually leave your life. So don't focus on how long it takes for you to get to the place where you no longer experience a spirit spouse. Your hope should be in the fact that as you are drawing closer and closer to Christ and seeking for an intimate relationship with Him, you are eventually going to be free from this spirit spouse. I've counseled somebody who it took him like 6 months to feel freedom, to be in this place where he felt like, I'm free. And I was like, God, what happened here? How come this person only 6 months and me so many years? And for me, it took me so many years. And God told me this: it depends on how obedient we individually are. It depends on the strongholds that are in our lives that God has to work with us to pull down. I always tell everyone the spirit spouse is a long process because God has to pull down strongholds. You have to partner with God for Him to pull down the strongholds that this spirit erected in your life. So don't focus on how long it's going to take. Focus on coming to God every day and just bringing this problem before him and growing and being transformed with the 7 keys. Connect to my channel because I will be discussing these 7 keys. I'll be posting videos to help you on how you too can receive and walk in the concepts of that these 7 keys present to us from the word of God. This is my individual journey. This is what God did for me to be delivered from the spirit spouse, and I am putting it out there so that God can use it to inspire you on your own unique and individual journey. Remember to use the content that I create to prayerfully ask God to reveal to you how he wants to deal with you in your own journey of deliverance from a spirit spouse. God bless you and see you next time.
Thank you for spending time with me today on my YouTube channel. I would like to invite you to take advantage of some free resources which I am making available for you to help you in your deliverance journey too. You see, through my own deliverance journey from a spirit spouse, Jesus Christ sang 7 songs over me, as in Psalm 32 verse 7, where it says, "You will surround me with songs of deliverance." These 7 songs are 7 concepts based on the word of God, which I see metaphorically as 7 keys leading up to my deliverance. They are love, joy, worship, grace, warfare, faith, and freedom. I want you to know today that my songs are available for you to download and stream on all streaming platforms. You can also enjoy them for free on my YouTube channel. These songs were very instrumental in creating a positive word-based environment around me and thus making the spirit spouse uncomfortable, so it had to leave. I know that as you listen to them, you too will be blessed and encouraged in your deliverance journey. Blessings and love from Sharon B.